Hey everyone! So today I have a January wrap-up to do for you, and it's a very, bookless January wrap-up. Because I did not finish any books this month. However, I did finish 11 manga, so I'm gonna be talking about all of those today, and we'll talk about books next month because I'm going to be reading more so this month. So the first manga I want to talk to you about is called Ajin Demi-Human, and this is a manga series from Vertical. This series is about a boy named Kei, who is a young high school student who finds out that he is not exactly human. In this world, there are two different kinds of humans. There's the regular, normal human, and then a demi-human, which is basically a human that can regenerate its body and can't die. At least, seemingly they can't die. And I have a cat now! Yay, kitties! You wanna say hello? Oh no, you wanna lay down behind me. Okay, never mind. She does wanna say hello. Anyway, so there are two types of humans, and the normal humans decide that demi-humans are an abomination and should be destroyed. And they actually do... bless you. They actually do scientific experiments on the demi-humans in order to find out what makes them tick, which is kind of unorthodox and very cruel because they put them through some terrible experiments. And it's a very, very dark and violent series. There's a lot of action, a lot of murder and mystery involved, and I really liked it. I do have the second volume to read, so I'll probably be reading that this month, but it's a very, very good series. He basically, the kid goes on the run with another friend of his named Kai, which is a little confusing because his name's Kei and the other guy's name's Kai, and it's like one letter that's different, E and A, but whatever, anyway. So that was a little confusing, but besides that, the story is really, really good. I really like it so far, so I'm going to be reading Volume 2 soon, and I'll be talking about that next month, hopefully. We'll see. But if you like sci-fi, kind of, maybe a little bit of horror, but not exactly horror, I would recommend this. It's very, very good. There's only 2 volumes out right now, so I would recommend this. Then we get into the shoujo that I read this month. I didn't even plan this, but it's gonna happen. The first volume I read, or at least one of the volumes I read, I'm not sure if I read this first, was Honey Blood Volume 1. This is a series by Miko Mitsuki, who has written a lot of one-shot series in Japan. I'm not sure if she's written anything else in English yet, but this series is one of her new series. It might be her first series here in the States. And this is about a girl who, she lives, I believe, next door to an author, and he's a really, really famous author. He writes vampire fiction, romances, and there's a drama that's available for the romance novel that he's written. And basically, she becomes kind of interested in him and very curious about what his life's about. And I don't know if it says on the back. Yep, it does. Okay, never mind. He's actually a vampire. Not a big, huge spoiler. So I actually really, really like this, surprisingly. I think I like this because it made me fall in love with the characters really, really quickly. Like, by the end of the volume, I was just like, oh my god, yes, they have to get together. They're so cute and amazing and wonderful, and I love it. I mean, it's a lot about, like, making sure the other person is okay and making sure they're happy, and it's a really heartless, like, wait, it's a heartless, right? No, heartful thing to do, and I just really like it, and there's a lot of good, like, sexual tension within the volume, and it's really, really sweet, and I like it a lot, so highly recommend this. All the volumes are out now. There are 2 volumes of this series, and there's also a prequel, Volume 0 that just came out, so highly recommend this. It's really, really good. I liked it. Now we're going to talk about one of my favorite series. Oh my gosh, I love this series so much, and I can't wait to read more. Oh my god, it's Spell of Desire Volume 2. This is a manga series about a witch named Kuriko who, she has these powers that she can't control, and her guardian named Kaname, I believe that's his name, Kaname? Yes, and he is her protector, basically. The only way for Kaname to calm her powers is to kiss her, which is a really cute and kind of, I guess not really cute, it's like more dark, and it's actually a josei. title. So this series has mature content in it. I have not seen the mature content yet, but the next volume, which this is kind of a spoiler for my haul, it is in shrink wrap, so I'm assuming by volume 3 some smexy stuff happens in it, so that's what I'm assuming. So if you're looking for an interesting josei title about magic and romance and mystery, highly recommend this. The end of this volume had some really, really interesting twists at the end, and I'm just so excited to read the next volume of it. The rest of the volume was good. It had a lot of, mystery elements, and it kind of dragged a little bit, but by the last chapter, I was just like, oh my god, I need to find out what happens next. Holy crap, I love this series so much. It's really, really great. So fantastic. And then another volume I read, which is another favorite series of mine, is volume 3 of Ore-sama Teacher. And you can see Hayasaka on the cover, who is my favorite character. He is brilliant. Oh my gosh, he's such an amazing character. And a lot of stuff happens in this volume. And a lot of it I can't really remember because I read half of the volume in, like, I want to say September. I don't know why it took me so long to read this volume. I just put it down for some reason, maybe because of school, but I finally finished it, and I really liked it. There's some really funny scenes at the end involving the main characters, and it's a really fun, addicting series. Well, I guess maybe not addicting, but it's just a fun series. If you're looking for something light, more of a comedy than a romance, highly recommend this. This is really, really great. And then this next one, I'm trying to decide if this is my favorite shoujo. It quite possibly might be. It's definitely in the top 5 or top 3 favorite shoujo of mine, and that's Black Rose Alice Volume 2. I love this series to death. It is absolutely phenomenal, and the reason I love it so much is it's such a non-traditional shoujo manga, it's ridiculous. I would even say that this is more of a josei than a shoujo, just because of all the dark elements. I mean, I'm not saying that shoujo can't have dark elements, but it just seems more fitting that this is as a josei title than a shoujo. And plus, the main characters are like, I believe they're in their 20s. I think. It's confusing because there's a lot of, like, souls going into different bodies and just some really confusing stuff. But I really like it. This volume in particular talked about the main Asuza, sorry, her past with a certain student of hers. She's a teacher, and she has a past with him, and it made me cry. Really made me cry. So I'm not going to spoil anything. This is volume 2. I don't want to talk about too much, but I highly recommend this series. It's a vampire title with unorthodox, different topics to talk about, like student-teacher relationships and becoming obsessed with someone, and just some really dark elements that I really, really like. And even the vampires themselves are totally different from any vampire I've ever read about. They're not like Twilight, they're not like Vampire Knight. It's just completely unique and original, and I love it so much. It's so good. Highly, highly recommend this. This is amazing. I would also say that the vampires in this are reminiscent of Anne Rice, so if you like Anne Rice's vampires, I definitely think you will love this series. It's so fantastic and wonderful, with a lot of good life lessons. The mangaka is just incredible. I love her to death so much. Now we're gonna talk about a series that I became absolutely obsessed with this month. Oh my god, so crazy. So last week I got sick. I got the flu and I was feeling terrible, and I stayed home from work and school, and I basically just read manga throughout the week, which was pretty nice, but also terrible because I was sick and blah. But I read the first 6 volumes of Batum in that week, and oh my god, you guys, this series, oh my god. It's about a boy named Sakamoto, Reiji Sakamoto I think is his name. Oh, sorry, Ryota. Anyway, he's thrust on this island, and he decides, well, he doesn't know why he's there, and then he finds out that, the people on the island are all trying to kill him. It seems that Sakamoto has been thrust into this violent world of Batum, which is actually a video game in his real world. Or maybe it's not a real... I don't know if this is a separate world or just an island. I'm not sure 100%. But in his, like, reality of, you know, back home in Japan, he was a huge Batum player, which is this big online, kind of like Halo-esque fighter where they use bombs to kill people and use strategies to kill people. And he was the #1 in Japan, or #3, one of the top people of that game. And so he's thrust into Batum, and he's not sure why, but he basically has to use bombs in order to kill people. He's given some provisions, and I believe 10 bombs. And all the bombs have their different unique abilities. There's like gas fire bombs, there's what are they called? Poppers? I don't know, they're not poppers, but they're like, they explode on contact. I don't know, remember what the name was. There's a honing bomb, different kinds of bombs, different strategical strategies involved in this series. He becomes allies with people and tries to survive on the island. That's basically the gist of the plot. There's a lot more to it, but I'm not going to go into too much detail. I highly, highly recommend this series. It is so amazing. Very, very dark and very, very good. If you like something like The Hunger Games or Battle Royale, you'll definitely love this series. It's a survival action series. I also want to mention that this is rated and mature, so there is a lot of violence and even some sexual content involved. Not really like sex, but like sexual content, like bad stuff. So if you're not old enough to read that, I would not recommend it, and I would just want you to keep that in mind before you read it. But it's so good. It's very, very awesome and just addicting. It's the most addicting series I have read in a long, long time, and I already have volume 7 to read, and that's the last volume I have. So I'm going to be waiting for a while to read more, and that's going to kill me because this is one of those series where you finish a volume and you instantly pick up the next one, and it's a quick-paced read. You can literally read this in like 20 minutes to a half hour, kind of like Gantz. Very, very, very good. I love this series. While we're on the subject of Batum, I also want to mention that there is an anime series available from Sentai Filmworks, and I really loved this anime. I watched it before I read the manga. However, the ending, there is no ending. It doesn't have a conclusion, which is why I read the manga. So if you want to get into the series, I would recommend watching the anime first and then reading the manga. I think that's a good order to do it in. You can do it in any order if you want, but I just think that will help you, I guess, get into the series at least. It's a really good series. I really highly recommend both the anime and the manga, even with the cliffhanger, stupid piece of crap ending. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. That is my wrap-up for January. What did you read this month? I know I talked basically about manga. I totally talk about manga if you want to in the comments below as well. I love talking about manga, but even books too if you wanted to mention that. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye!